Hey guys, welcome back. So we're on to our next video here. Going to try to shift gears a little bit, move into some more positive territory. I know sometimes this whole spiritual awakening thing, or going through life as it were, can be rather difficult and seem pretty down at times. So we're going to try to lift that vibe up a little. This is Organically Connected. If you guys are enjoying the channel, please support us by sharing this video, like, subscribe, click that notification bell to find out every time we post something new. And we're back. So this week, going to try to move into some positive territory. I know from experience, and most of you probably know, that going down this path of awakening or spiritual awakening or coming out of the matrix, whatever it might be, comes with realizing that there's a lot more things going on in the world than we realized before. And a lot of these can be very negative to our experience. I myself have found myself going down a lot of rabbit holes that were deep, dark pits of despair, only to find at the bottom that if you stayed there for too long, you too just started feeling dark, down, and in despair. So I try to coach people all the time on making sure that we don't stay in some of the things that we learn. So as we go through this process, we may discover certain truths of the world that are very dark. We can learn them, we can be aware of them, but we don't have to live in them. We have to be careful how far down the hole we go, that we can see light to come back out. Because spiritual awakening, as much as I often tell people, can be not rainbows and lollipops, there can be rainbows and lollipops too. It's a beautiful process of coming into yourself, learning who you are, living that in the world, and feeling more confident about yourself, feeling more in love with yourself, and less stress about what other people think. These are the things we really want to kind of focus on, more than what kind of darkness surrounds us. Granted, we are living in a world that is full of negativity and fear. I had an example last night pop into my head, a dream I woke up from, and it made a lot of sense, so I want to share it with you. I learned a few years ago how to ride motorcycle. It's something I wanted to do since I was a kid, so I said, hey, we're going to do it. Got myself a bike, started to learn. One of the lessons they teach you in riding a motorcycle is about something called target fixation. And it's a perfect example for what can happen during our journey. You can be riding down the road and you see a hazard in the road, a box, a piece of garbage, a big pothole, something like that. We instantly go, uh-oh, I don't want to hit that. But we're looking at it and we get locked on it. And unfortunately, due to human nature, we can become fixated on that target and actually lead ourselves directly into it with seemingly no way to avoid it. This is the same for some of the things that come up in our life. If we see something dark, something not good, we notice it, it makes us fearful, and unfortunately, because we focus too much on it, we manifest it. We pull it into our life. We make it part of our story. So just like target fixation on a motorcycle, be careful what targets you're fixating on. Try to fixate on things that are positive, that bring you light and love and enjoyment. Follow those things because they'll definitely lead you down a much better path. I was going to do a video this week based on the ideas of divide and the things that separate us in this world, but you know what? I wanted to do something positive. Someone I love very much in this world helped guide me towards this path today, and I want to thank her for that. You know who you are. I want to share a little bit of my journey in a way. This story that I'm telling you today is from my own experience with going down the negative path. I, early on in my journey, learned a lot about things that were going around the world that were very dark and depressing and controlling. So I learned about a couple of years ago that I wanted to step back from watching those things and trying to learn more. I already knew what was going on. It didn't seem beneficial to keep going down that path. So I stepped back and I tried to advise other people to be careful and step back as well. But without me even noticing it, I made part of my story about those negative things and that we needed to rise up against them. Now, this is moderately correct in a way of saying that we need to rise up against the darkness in our lives and be that light that we're meant to be. But in the same vein, I was focusing too much on what I was up against instead of focusing on what I am up against it. To me, that's the more important thing. Who are you? How can you meet this world with love in places that it usually doesn't exist? How can we stand in the chaos that we see all around us and be that shining light? That's what I want to try to focus on. That's what I want to try to share with you guys. I want to bring people's vibe up. I want to bring your vibe up. So I'm going to share my little downfall with this. And now that I've noticed it, I honestly noticed an instant change in my life this morning when I woke up. I felt a little bit better. Things outside looked a little bit brighter. I even in my meditation noticed that the energy was dancing just a little bit more because I had shifted my focus. I noticed where I was doing something that I found counterproductive. I then shifted my focus and went towards something more productive. So go figure, my vibe started to go up. My experience started to feel better. So I came in this morning and I decided to delete the other video that I had created and put this one out there. I want you to support each other. I want to build a community around this process of awakening and give that love to each other. Each of us is going through this experience at a different rate. We're at a different point in our journey, but I do know that every one of you has a little bit of wisdom that we can share with each other. And even for someone who's fairly well along this path like me, I can learn from other people who might not even be on their path. I can have a perspective shift, change my view a little bit to make it more beneficial. So that's what I want to put out there today. Share with the people in your life. Tell them what you're going through. They're either going to support you or they're not. Either way, it doesn't matter. Enjoy the process of sharing who you are and how your journey is going. And you never know what might come back. Someone might give you a little bit of reflection that you need. On that note, we're going to drop off for today, keep it a short, simple little video, and I want to do more stuff like this. Lots of love, guys. Take care.